All right. How's everyone doing today? Happy Sunday. Martin, good to see you. Chrome Nuke, how you doing? Kalith, how's everybody doing? Steven, good to see you. STO Cannon Builder, I like that. How you doing? Dwayne, good to see you, man. Hope everybody's having a good day. I saw the news, or someone asked about it at in the comments up at the top, so looks like we have some bad news we'll start off with. Unfortunately, I don't like starting the show that way, but so it looks like Nicholas has passed away. I wasn't able to find a official page of hers, but I'm seeing it all over the place. So it looks like that is correct. Although again, it doesn't look like she had her own official page. I've seen reports that her family members and, you know, retweets and things like that. So that really sucks that has happened. It's pretty interesting. I watched a interview with her. It's probably years back now, but she was talking about when she got casted for the original show. She got the part. It was announced, and she actually got a phone call from Martin Luther King, and they had a conversation. He was talking to her about how important, you know, the role is that she's playing, and, you know, the fact that she's going to be on the show. And she was really surprised by that, you know, and you know, we know the effects of that, you know, long-term normalizing, you know, some of the leftover issues, you know, regarding, you know, cultural racism and things like that. And you know, she played a big part in that, in a way that I guess it's very reminiscent of the way Martin Luther King did things, right? Where it was non-violent. It was, you know, bringing attention to things in a way that, you know, was easy for people to see and watch, or hard at the same time. But it was hard for people to, you know, get angry and act in a way, you know, because it was non-violent and those kinds of things. And so I think her role that she played in that, you know, was interesting and very effective, even though she was kind of thrusted into it, right? So it wasn't something she went after and seeked out that kind of thing, but ended up, you know, in the right place at the right time to help with, you know, those cultural changes that we were going through at the time. So she'll definitely be missed. It's a real bummer that this has happened. It looks like, from what I've read, it was from leftover complications from COVID. I can't confirm that, but I read that in a couple different places here on Twitter. So for using Twitter as the source, take that all with a grain of salt, obviously. All right. So again, sorry to start the show off on kind of a negative note, or a negative note like that, but I just wanted to make sure, if you weren't aware, you are now. All right. And let me just catch up with chat here. Excuse me. I feel like, you know, as I'm getting older, it's like all these people like we grow up with and stuff, you know, a lot of them are, you know, a lot older than me, right? You know, because I was a kid watching a lot of these different shows and stuff, and I guess that's just the way life goes. But it makes me think about, and I don't want to go like way negative here, but, you know, when you get really, really old, you know, and you're left with like no one that you grew up with, you know, and you gotta find new people to watch and follow, you know, that are younger than you, so you can continue to, you know, have those thoughts and memories, you know. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on from that, because I don't want to get too bummed out and depressed here. What instance am I in? Let me check for you. So we'll go through the news, chat about some of the upcoming things and some of the things that are happening, and then we'll run a few TFOs here together. Again, if you are a channel member, you have access to the YouTube channel in Discord. And if you would like to be teamed up, just drop your in-game handle, tune name and handle, and you will get priority on the teaming. I am currently in instance 1. It's pretty full. I'll jump over to instance number 2 here. Got something in my throat. It's driving me crazy. Bardcore, we just started. We just talked about Nichelle Nichols passing away, and that's it so far. So you're here right on time. General Washington, good to see you. All right, so we are currently in instance number 2 of DS9. Oh, my dog's like huffing and puffing. He ate, he went outside. He's making that noise where he's kind of huffing and puffing, and at any moment he's gonna like bark and scare the crap out of me. All right, let's get my notes here. Okay, so first thing we'll just note, because this is over now, but there was a flash sale, 40% off of legendary ships, and I put a video out on this right when it was announced. It's again, you know, I don't normally cover sale things like this, but this was unique because it had the 10th anniversary bundle also brought back all of the legendary bundles, and at 40%, that was one of the biggest, you know, discounts you could get on it. I really hate the way, and it's not just them, it's just kind of marketing, I guess, in general. I mean, I guess there's a lot of other places that are better with this, but, you know, something comes out and it's, you know, it's $200, but we're going to release it on sale for 50% off, you know, at $100. And I know it's digital stuff, but like, you know, I run a small business, and if I go into a customer's house and I tell them, you know, it's $1,000, you know, for a garage door, I'm just making stuff up. But, you know, if they go with me today, it's $500, you know, they would send me out the door, and rightfully so, right? You know, I mean, it's just, I really don't like that. You see that a lot more online. Or if you go to, you know, especially like discount stores are like that, and I get that, like, you know, Ross or Burlington. And I understand those are clearance, so it's a little bit different, but it gets my wife all the time. You know, it's like an item, whatever it is, and it's $200, which is a lot of money, but it was $300, you know, and I'm just like, yeah, well, I don't care what it was, $200 is still a lot of money. So, you know, but the bundle that, and I'm just going to kind of keep this conversation narrow to the 10th anniversary bundle. Some of the other legendary bundles are really good as well. But this is one that I actually bought, and I'm not the kind of person to spend a lot of money in games like this. As I said in the video, you know, I come from a time where you buy a video game for, you know, $50, $40, whatever, and you played it. You know, microtransactions and continually spending money in games is a relatively new phenomenon to me, and it's not something that, you know, I would normally do, and I had a hard time kind of justifying that kind of thing. But it is really, I mean, it's just a paradigm shift, right, that's happened over you know, the last half decade or so. There are definitely some negative aspects to that. I don't want to get too sidetracked, but I'm okay with buying, you know, content in a game, expansions or some things. But there's some games that are really terrible where they're, you know, the microtransaction stuff's just ridiculous, you know, and it, especially when you bring loot boxes and things like that into it. But the 12th or 10th anniversary bundle, excuse me, is an excellent value, even though, there it is, barking. Hey, bud, come here. It's an excellent value because you're looking at getting 10 ships for $180, you know, with that sale. So it's $18 a ship. You get the ship in all the variants in terms of consoles, traits, and all of those kinds of things. So it's excellent. It's an excellent deal. Grumpy, what's up, buddy? 1701, good to see you. How you guys doing? So that's why I covered this one. Like I said, I wouldn't normally cover things like this for Cryptic. I never want to come across like I'm, you know, salesman for them. And I think I've done a good job at not doing that because that's not my intention. But for anybody that was in the market, this was definitely the time to, you know, take advantage of it. And if we saw that pop up now, just kind of out of nowhere, I have a feeling we might see things like that in the future. And maybe at a later date, we'll talk about why we're seeing things like this, because it does have me a little bit kind of confused, just kind of out of nowhere, having, you know, a sale like this of this kind of a value. But I'm going to need to do a little more digging and thinking on that. All right, next in the PC patch notes. Most of this kind of inconsequential for me, other than... Where is it here? Resolved an issue that was preventing Romulan Operative bridge officer traits from activating. I have found in looking through just about all my tunes that use these, which is most of them, that this problem has gone away. I have gotten a few reports that people are saying they're still having the problem, but to be fair, that was only like 2 people in the comments. So maybe they are, maybe they're not, maybe they need to, you know, reload their loadouts. I don't know, but at least on my end, across my free-to-play and my main account, I've checked and double-checked and made sure I've checked on tunes that I had confirmed that were having the problem. So if you're unaware, Romulan operatives have a trait. Our Romulan operative is a trait, and it gives you a boost to your the main things in it are going to be your crit chance, crit severity. There's a couple different levels of them. So there's like basic, there's Romulan operative, and then there's superior Romulan operative, and they all have a scaling difference in what you get from those two. The issue that had happened, and I'm not sure when exactly it happened, but it's definitely a month or 2 old. If you had one of these officers, or one of these officers with one of these traits, they were getting all 3 of those variants of the traits stacked up. So basically, you're getting like a super duper superior Romulan operative. And so they had tried to fix it a week or so back, and it broke most of the bridge officer traits. It looks like they had been slowly kind of adjusting things on the back end to fix that, and they had fixed most of it, but it was still really kind of hit or miss with the Romulan operatives. My Fed tune didn't have the problem, but on my free-to-play, my Romulan tune did have the problem still. And so I went back, double-checked both of those, and it looks like, as far as I can tell, that issue has been resolved, which is awesome. I totally didn't buy the 10th, 11th, and 12th bundle. I did get the 11th bundle too. That was a pretty good deal as well. The Vorcha in that is just super strong. Let me just catch up on chat here. Ramvixer? I don't know if I'm saying that. Welcome. I appreciate you being here. Fan of the Orville. It's a good show. I really like that. I haven't watched any of the latest seasons, but I watched like the first season and a half, and I really enjoyed it. It's kind of weird because it seems like that show's really popular, but it's been passed around to a whole bunch of different carriers or companies to own it. So it's kind of weird. Sorry, my reading skills are a little slow. The only bundle I'll ever buy, okay, have the cube in it. Yeah, and I'm still holding out hope for that. From what I understand, they have some designs for that. I don't know if they're completely, release ready. And this was brought up to Kale, he kind of shot it down, but the whole justification of not releasing a board cube was that you wouldn't be able to tell what direction you're going. But with the Nidarian, that I can't tell which direction I'm going either unless I start to move, and then it even still takes a second for me to either visually tell what direction I'm going or see the trail from the engine. So we'll see. I mean, it really comes down to, if they think people will buy it. And I think the other issue, too, is that it is a massive ship. There are big ships in the game, but I really think, as the game continues to age and, they need to keep people engaged, I really think that's a possibility. I mean, we get people, Stu, you're saying that it's never going to happen. And I definitely lean towards that, but there's no reason why it couldn't happen other than them saying no. So, and when money's involved, things can change very, very easily. I'm okay not having the board cube. Yeah, and the other thing too, like I'm thinking it through, right? I mean, if you look at any of the board cubes in game, I mean, they're astronomically slow, right? I mean, they're big, they're cool. It'd be cool for Space Barbie and all that kind of thing. Grumpy engine visuals, yeah. I activated the ones I would never from the competitive engines on the Nidarian, and that is definitely helpful. It looks stupid, but whatever. Or I don't know if any of you guys have caught TriZander streams lately. He has the the Rep Borg set on it, and oh my god, that thing does not scale very well with the ship. I mean, it's awesome. It's massive. I mean, it's the pieces of it just hanging off of it. That probably helps quite a bit as well. Went on a huge rant on this last month. Have to say never just yet. No. I hear you. 1701. It's kind of like top 5, right? Never top 5. They're definitely caveated. I do think it's unlikely though that we'll see a Borg cube. Stargate Wars, what's up, buddy? Tell Mark here, adding which sphere. Yeah, I think there's probably some easy ways to tell which direction it's going to go. Yeah, Martin, that's a good point. So, I mean, again, just to clarify, it's highly, highly unlikely, but you never know. Dwayne, my main tune has okay, nice. That's awesome, Dwayne. Veronica, thank you for the sticker. I appreciate that. Borg sphere, much more likely. I mean, that would be a lot easier, right, for them to do. It's smaller. You could justify making it move a little bit faster. What would they call that, right? So if I would assume a cube, any of them is basically a juggernaut, right? So what would a sphere be? Cruiser class, battle cruiser. Can't be a raider or anything like that because they're still too big. Milky gifted it to you, Dwayne. Oh, that's nice of them. Kayla, dude, thank you very much for the gifted. I always want to say subs because just Twitch for so long. For the memberships, thank you very much. I appreciate that. If you guys are unaware, and this is not a veiled plug for this, but if you are interested in receiving a gifted membership, you do have to activate that for the individual channels that you would like to be eligible for that. To do it, if you go to any of the channels, use mine here obviously as an example, and you click on the join. Let's pause that. And the 3 dots up top here, mine's not going to show it because this is my channel, but right underneath will be, I think it says like gifted settings or something like that. And if you click in it, you can basically turn on the ability to do or receive a gifted membership. So if you don't turn that on, then it won't put you in the queue for receiving that. So if that is something you're interested either on my channel or anybody else's, make sure that you go into that channel, click on the join button, and then click on the 3 dots. I think it's also, if you scroll down on this page itself, there might be a link somewhere down here as well. Again, this is probably a bad example doing it on mine here, but if that's something you're interested in, make sure you go and activate that. All right, next, let's talk about the upcoming events. Your thoughts about a playable Borg faction, like the Cooperative, maybe get more Borg ships then. I think it would be cool. So there's a couple things. I don't see, based on what they're currently saying, I'm not personally seeing any kind of major expansions in the game like that, be it rep, fleet, battle zones, playable races. I'm not seeing any of that being added, at least not in the very near future, based on what they've said and just kind of the overall kind of attitude and vibe that we get from them. And I think it would be really cool to do that. I think another probably barrier to seeing that happening is that there's so much Trek happening right now with the shows and all those different kinds of things that I think that we'll see stuff that's a little bit more in line from that or shoot-offs from that. Because even if you look at, kind of the Terran thing that we're going through, that's kind of a shoot-off from season 2 of Discovery, or the end of season 1, end of season 2. It's hard to even remember now, where it kind of goes off the rails to me, like away from what's currently happening, but it does kind of stem from that. So unless the show went heavy, involved the Borg heavily, then I don't think that we will see anything like that anytime soon, to be honest with you. Thank you for the super chat as well, Ryan. I appreciate it. But I wouldn't mind it. I mean, anything they add to the game is good. You know, especially I would really like to see more of, you know, a complete story arc or any kind of other, you know, expansion would be nice. But I think at least in the near future, and I think a lot of it is from, you know, they had that the sale of the company changed hands. You could see prior to that, we got a lot less of that, more ships, things like that, more just direct revenue, you know, driven things, at least revenue driven things that you can quantify very easily, right? We make a new ship. How many did we sell? What was the profit loss? When you do expansions and things like that, it's you can still get, you know, data on that showing increases in those kinds of things, but because there's not a price tag associated directly with it, you can't get the direct correlation. Because I could argue all day long that you know, adding expansions, adding more content, even making it more, you know, free to play friendly, which it already is, you know, being fair. There's a value in having people just playing the game, right? So queues pop faster. There's more people in social zones, which a lot of people like. And just bringing people back into the game makes them more apt to buy something compared to if they weren't in the game, right? So if you weren't in the game, you're definitely not buying anything. So there's definitely a value proposition to be made for, you know, adding larger expansions and things that don't have a direct price tag on. But I think right now what we're seeing prior to the sale and now kind of after was, you know, aimed more towards that, you know, we did this and we made that in terms of profit, which is fine. I understand. I mean, I don't like it as a player, but I think the focus was on that whole sale. So I'm hoping that now that we're kind of on the back end of that, we're seeing the new website, we're seeing things happening on the back end. I'm hoping that, you know, we'll start to see, you know, more of a flow that we saw, you know, years back where you'd have large arcs dropped and different expansions and things like that. Veronica, thank you very much for the membership. I appreciate that. So that's my hope. We'll see. I mean, there's, you know, we got a lot of time left on this game, you know, and I was thinking to myself the other day, because, and again, we're going to get kind of off the rails here, but the, you know, we talk about, you know, is STO dying? Is there this? Is there that? You know, and I always think about, okay, well, you know, Cryptic Studios, they don't have really many other games. I mean, I know they have Neverwinter and things like that, but, you know, STO is really kind of the main one at this point. But the other thing that they have is the licensing, right, for the IP, and you know, the Star Trek, you know, IP is huge, and that's really what they bought. And so, you know, I think that I'm hoping that we'll see, you know, kind of from the top, at least a slight change in direction in, you know, what we've been getting over the last couple of years, which is only really a few hours worth of new content a year, playable content per tune. I mean, you can replay the stuff obviously with the different factions. What? I can't make that right now, man. I'm in the middle of a stream. I'll make it when I get done. No, you cannot try. You're not allowed to use the oven. Don't touch any of it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to schedule a break here for about 10 minutes to make sure he is not touching the oven. My 10-year-old. Too smart for their own good. Or did you say 11? It's hard to keep up. I have 3 and they're all real close. I have a 9, 11, and 12-year-old. Put all the things in there. Yeah, right? You can try and microwave it. That might not turn out too good. You know what's the worst? Just a little side story. My kid's done this twice. The same one, my oldest. They really like the macaroni and cheese that you microwave. And he's put it in the microwave twice now with no water. And luckily the second time I caught it. Or he caught it and I got there real quick. But the first time, that stuff's like toxic poison, man. If you cook that and it starts melting, and I think it's that the powder that's in there. It's like a butter powder. It's foul. I mean, luckily it was during the winter time, so I was able to open all the doors and windows and stuff at my house here. Because in the summer we would just have to live with it because, you know, it's 120 outside. You open the doors and now your whole house is an oven. Everything starts smelling bad then, including yourself. I lost count of how many G.I. Joe and Transformers I burned on the stove. Oh, really? I've never burned much. At least not on the stove. I mean, you know, I was a young boy once too, right? And so fire was very interesting to me. I never got in too much trouble. I did electrocute myself more times than not. I hooked up, I'd stripped some cables. I was probably like 9, and I'd stripped some wire, and I hooked it up to one of those little electric motors, you know, that would be in cars, and then I stuck it in the light socket, and that zapped me pretty good. Or not the light socket, you know, the socket on the wall, and blew some fuses and zapped me pretty good. My dad came and found me, tells me the story still all the time. I was, you know, white in the face, and that one scared me, but it didn't stop me. But the most dangerous one I did is I wanted to make I would watch Three Ninjas, right? And Three Ninjas, they had that cool light that would light up when their parents were getting close to their bedroom, right? So they'd all jump in bed. It was like the coolest thing in the world. So I thought, okay, I'm going to take my lamp and I'm going to cut the cord, and I'm going to strip both ends. So I have the plug end and I have the lamp end. And then I'm going to take some cardboard, fold it in half, and I'm going to wrap it in tin foil. And then I'm just gonna, you know, hook the pieces up to the tin foil so that when someone steps on it, and I'd put this in my room, so they would have already been in there. It wouldn't even have worked. Luckily, I didn't know enough at the time about completing circuits, because I most likely would have stepped on that and really got messed up. That was one experiment or project that luckily didn't work out. But anyways, good times. Flaming shots require a steady hand. Yeah, you're not wrong. All right, let's look at and talk about Galaxy Go's Red Alert. So when this first was announced, I think we were all a little confused because the current Red Alert was going, the week-long one, and before that was even over, they had announced another one. Now, Kale had mentioned on this week's 10-4 live stream that they had to make some scheduling adjustments, and they didn't want to leave basically a 2-week space of time that didn't have any kind of event, because reasons. I guess we have to have an event every ongoing constantly, which I guess isn't a bad thing for, you know, especially for this kind of stuff, where, you know, if you miss out on some upgrades or X upgrades, it's not the end of the world. It's not the same as maybe missing out on a console that might be really good later on. But it does give that opportunity to be able to farm, you know, resources like this. So I'm definitely not complaining. It just is kind of weird. But he said that they had to make some adjustments to this because of scheduling stuff. So, and I have some thoughts on that, which we'll get into in just a moment. But basically what we'll have is, so later this week, this will start up. It'll be the exact same event that we just completed last week, play through the Red Alert missions. And the difference this time is that the experimental upgrade is included. So from what I understand here, the 2-week-long versions of this get the experimental upgrade. The 1-week-long event, you just get the 2 top ones as the rewards. There was some confusion last time because the blog post last time up at the top, it said that you would get all 3. I think it was just a copy and paste. But then down in the bottom here, it did not have that listed. So there was a little confusion. There's a few that had reached out and was like, hey, dude, 2-week one, you get it. 1-week one, you do not. So that's the deal with that. Hopefully scheduling change is for new story missions for campaign event. Yeah, so Willie, that is kind of what I'm thinking. So not so much that it's story. I mean, it might be, but I'm guessing that maybe in this block here, we would have saw the campaign start back up, you know, with the summer event just ending. And most of the time they'll coincide that, right, with some, you know, a couple new missions or, you know, some new patrols or both or something like that. I think there was one so far this year where it wasn't some new content. I think it was some, you know, recycled stuff. I'm really hoping that that's not the case. I think that with this, you know, change, because Kale said that, you know, this was not supposed to be here. They had to make an adjustment, and he's confirmed that the next campaign will be after this one and will be a 3-week-long event. So I think that it's got to be that there's going to be some sort of new content attached to it. Because if there wasn't and they were recycling stuff, then why would you need to change the schedule? You know, you could just activate it and go with it. Let me look at what were the last ones. Almost had a misclick. Yeah, so what the last one was, well, did they give us a new mission with that? No, because the one before that were the ones with Janeway And some of it may be that I generally will just run the easiest ones. So this one used some recycled missions, the Pavo stuff. Yeah, that's right. Alex, when will we be able to get the event prize with finishing this? So if you, let's say, you know, the new event starts in, you know, 2 weeks, and let's say you only need to do it once and you complete it. Once you complete it, you can claim your prize right away, or you can just hold on to it. I didn't claim mine for like, I don't know, 5 months. I grinded super hard to get it early. You know, I didn't spend any money on it, I don't think, last year's. And so I grinded real hard, you know, to get all the extra points. I got it, I think, one event early, and then I sat on it for like 5 months before I could make my mind up. My free-to-play, I didn't. I already had a plan for that, but yeah, you can claim that right away. As soon as you complete it, you can claim your prize. Yeah, so the last one was some recycled stuff. So I think that we're most likely going to see some new content. I mean, don't quote me on that. I don't have any kind of inside info or anything like that, but I think it makes sense, right? I mean, if they had to, you know, if there was a delay and they had to make this change and give us another red alert event, then there's got to be some new stuff coming with that. Because otherwise, I mean, if they were going to recycle anything, it's already on there. There's nothing else. So I don't work there. I'm not a programmer. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's some other kind of reason for it, but to me, that makes sense that that's going to be the case there. So last event got you some serious dill. Yeah. If you really do grind that out, especially in the beginning, and then you're able to take advantage of the extra stuff, man, you can just get so much. I don't know why it held that, Chrome. I think it's because you said link. YouTube's getting a little stricter. I haven't upped my stuff. I mean, because sometimes I get the porn bots. I get those in chat and things like that, but it's kind of like whatever. You know, I just cancel them when they come in. I'd rather you guys be able to talk easier than having to deal with that. But I think the basic stuff they've been having some issues with. I've been having issues with just certain keywords. Anyways, yeah, if you just got a membership from Calith, or you already had one, be sure to link your, if you have Discord, link it to YouTube, and you'll have access to the Discord server YouTube channel. Yeah, so the campaign portion of it does not give you dill, extra dill. The sub events that count towards it do. So the individual events that you play throughout the year, if you complete them, if it's a 3-week long event and you need, 14 days worth, once if you do the 14 days and you do it all right up front, you'll have 7 days where you can continue to play, and you'll get larger and larger chunks of dill every time you play through those, once per account, and they're pretty substantial. They start to add up to quite a bit after you get a few days in. So, I mean, you can literally get like, a day's worth of, refinable dill in just one run from rerunning those. But it's not for the actual campaign. So once you complete the campaign itself, the year long, that bar goes away and nothing else counts towards that. There's no extra benefit to that. But all the sub events you can continue to play through and pick up, a good amount of resources and stuff. I got too busy for Discord. I just looked for videos from other players. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, our Discord server, there's a lot of people in it. There's a lot of help in it. There's a lot of people that just come in for the giveaways or, for whatever. And, like, we're totally fine with that. I mean, it's use it, don't use it. Just, browse through it. It's the same thing, too, with, like, fleets. Someone had posted on one of my videos this morning. It's one of the how to use, the fleet holdings and things like that, fleets they're too much drama and I don't want to deal with this and that. And so I'm going to message the guy back. I was just kind of browsing through it, but come join our fleet. You don't even have to talk to us. Just, if you're going to engage in chat, be nice. And other than that, I mean, you can just do whatever you want to do. Obviously donate so you can get resources so you can buy stuff. But otherwise, you know, there's no requirements. So that's the pitch for the fleet. We have a Fed and KDF side. So if anyone's looking for one, there's links down in the description for the Discord server for that. Or you can send myself a DM in game, and I'll send you a invite that way as well. Or if you're on Twitter, you can also DM me through there, and I'll send you an invite too. But we're pretty relaxed. So we do events to get you know, provisions and things like that, and we're working on getting kind of a better schedule for that. My schedule has gotten a lot busier. Both of my two of my kids just started basketball this weekend. I'm helping assistant coach for one of them, and so Saturdays end up getting really full, and then I got practice 2 separate nights out of the week, and it's a nightmare. But we're gonna work through that so that we can get more of that going. We're getting close on the Fed side to having a fully leveled fleet. We got some work still to do, but we're doing really well. All right, I'm gonna run real quick and make sure my kid's not getting ready to burn the house down. Just a quick check there, and then when I get back, I'll double check, make sure we didn't miss anything news-wise, and then we'll go ahead and do some runs, have some fun, and then I'm gonna make lunch. I haven't eaten yet. I'm not starving. That's why I haven't brought up food, but my brain's starting to think, what do we need? I'll have to look in the the grub page on the Discord server, because, dude, Caleth, you're like a chef, man. Like, every night it's just this nice, prepared, awesome meals. I'm jealous. I'm gonna come move in with you guys. My kids, man, they're so picky, and then my wife's picky, so like half the time, like, I'll go cook a steak and mashed potatoes, and it's like just for me, you know, and I'm just like, all right, well, I guess I got food for the next 3 days. I should have listened to the pediatrician. You know, she's like, make him eat it, because you'll become a you know, a short, you know, or what did she call it, short order chef. You know, and she wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong at all. Anyways, all right, guys, I will be back in just a moment. Give me just a couple minutes. I'm going to chat with him, and maybe I'll make him something real quick, but I'll make it quick, so less than 5 minutes. And then also, Martin had donated fleet modules. We were kind of going back and forth of whether or not, and let me just check your last. If we want to do those, I think I'll put those up in Discord, because in Discord, the giveaways, they'll run for a little more time, and so people watching this VOD also will have the ability to get in on that. So I'm going to, I'll start that once the stream's over, but just be aware, I'll put up it's going to be a giveaway for 5 fleet modules for PC. So you can either take all 5 of those and pick up a fleet ship, or if you need fleet versions of C-Store ships you currently have, you can get them for 1 fleet module if you own the C-Store version of it. So you could get, you know, 5 fleet ships with that if you wanted to go that direction. Or again, if you just want to get the fleet version, you don't own the ship, you can just get it outright with the 5 modules. So I will post that in Discord at the end of the stream. I just want to make sure I didn't forget about that. All right, guys, give me just a couple minutes, and I will be right back. If I can find the button. There it is. right. Crisis averted. Nothing is on fire. All right, let's go ahead and let me double check something here. I was using the videos from this week. I put out quite a few of them. There was a lot kind of happening. It's kind of as my notes to make sure we recapped everything. If you're interested in a very budget Nidarian build, I do have a video up on that. That console it came with is is crazy. All right, so I'm going to grab from Discord first, and then I'll just select some people around us to fill in. Chrome Nuke, did you want to go as well? I saw you've been posting in here, but I didn't see your handle. Negative? Okay. Grog, if you want to go, just put your handle. There it is. All right. All right, and let me just double check here. All right, we got Kalith, Grog, Mystic. Okay, that's everybody from the members, and I'm just going to select from our group here. Aquarius, it's in the YouTube member section. So as a YouTube member, you get first dibs for teaming up, at least for the first couple runs. I will rotate, people out even of there just to make sure, depending on how many we run. But you can only see the channel if you're a member. It's one of the member perks. I really like the ship, the Aquatic ship. Okay, that is 5 of us if they accept. Yeah, the Zindi Aquatic. I don't know what it is. I've always really liked the way that it looks. I almost picked up the tier 5 version of it way back. It's not very Star Trek-y, I don't know. This is weird. Let me see if we got an accept here from the last person. Kethin, at Kethin in-game handle. If you want to go, hit the accept button. I'll give you a couple, I'll give you a minute or so, and then I'll boot you and grab somebody else. Yeah, it's from Enterprise. Those are the big whale-like creatures. I remember when one of those ended up getting destroyed at the end, all the water that came out of it and stuff. It was pretty cool. Kevin, glad to have you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. STO cannon. Oh, really? That was your first tier 6 ship ever? That's cool. Personally, I think you should pick the wobbly Audi. All right, I'm gonna boot here. There we go. Given to you by the fleet leader. Okay, that's cool. It's so awesome when you get like stuff like that. I remember one of my first premium ships ever I won from Saku from the Q Continuum. His live stream. He used to stream daily around lunchtime, so I'd watch him, you know, while I was at work at my desk and stuff, and I won the Kelvin Timeline Dreadnought. I flew that for a long time. It's still a really good ship. We're gonna do a ISA. I haven't done that in a while, and I've been kind of just playing with this build. I am gonna parse it, but I won't show it on stream here, just for me for later. Oh, sounds like my wife is home from shopping. Or running errands, right? That's the code word. All right. No pressure, Caliph. We'll get through it. But yeah, I won't pull the parse up on stream. I know some people don't like that. Others aren't interested in the DPS stuff, and this isn't like a min-max DPS build. I'm just interested with some stuff I've been kind of messing with, because you can dig into, like, you know, the individual weapons and abilities. I want to see how it's interacting. Let's see, infected with an I, and not the ground one, please God. Nothing's worse than clicking this one on accident and not realizing until you beam in. You're like, oh my God. Yeah, Kayla, I'm super casual, dude. I've been researching. I'll just give you guys a little teaser. I've been researching and trying to also internally figure out, what does that mean? What is a casual gamer, and what's the opposite of it? Because there's different things that I think about that you could take someone like me, for instance. I do competitive runs with, you know, a team of guys. We haven't in a little while, you know, and we're chasing the big numbers and stuff. But if I don't get them, or if we don't run, I don't care. You know, I'm not ever getting upset, and so I would say that I have a pretty casual attitude about it. You know, what I'm thinking is it's subjective, but I think that my goal is kind of work in some of these categories, and really what I'm finding is that, you know, 99% of us are casual, right? We play games to have fun, and what do you call, you know, someone that is not casual? You know, an elite player, a pro player, you know, one guy was saying. But to me, pro player means you get paid, or there's prizes, you know. I don't know. Anyways, something I was thinking about. If you guys have any thoughts on that, put it in the YouTube video suggestion channel in Discord. So I'm really trying to, I'm going to put together basically just kind of a discussion video about it. I just think it's interesting. And it's one of those things, there's not really a right or wrong answer. I just think it's something interesting to talk about, because we hear those terms thrown around all the time. It's funny. I was talking to TriZander about this the other day, and he kept saying the same thing, except he was saying Spencer, CasualSAB. I'm just like, dude, I just don't know what to call a non-casual, and he's like, Spencer. But I think that if that's the case, if we're going to say that, right, then really that makes, you know, 99.9% of us casual. And is that a bad thing? Of course it's not, right? But anyways, so I'm working through that. So hopefully in the next like month or two, I'll be able to kind of put something out that's coherent and thought-provoking. We'll see. All right, here we go, guys. I was going to say the same. Well, you know, one of the people's thoughts on what non-casual would be is, you know, gamer, you know, people that play games as a pastime, you know, for fun, purely, would be casual. And people that, you know, gaming as a way of life would be considered the opposite of that. Which I think is, again, I think what I'm struggling with is that the perception is that there's both groups are large, and really from everything that I'm kind of seeing and what I'm thinking is that they're not. You know, one group is massive, casuals, and just because you're casual doesn't mean you can't do top end stuff either. You know, hardcore gamer, that's another term that I've heard as well. I need to go straight. Here we go. There we go. know it looks a little sweaty, but I'm not, I promise. A little bit. I'm trying to figure out, I put overpowered and overgunned on here, and I'm trying to decide if that's better than, is it calm? No, not calm. I don't know, I'll think of it in a minute. That was some bad piloting. We might die. We might die. More spacebar. Whew. Rob, what's up, man? Good to see you. 8 months. Been that long? Thank you, man. I appreciate the remembership. How do we say that? We need to come. YouTube needs better terminology. It's terrible. I love this pilot ship. GG, guys. That was good. 20JK10. Yeah, I saw that. We talked about it a little bit at the beginning. It's a bummer. Pay to play. In terms of teaming, pay to priority. Well, you know, and a part of the reason I stopped streaming on Twitch, part of it is I like the YouTube, you know, long form video. I also am, I wasn't, this isn't a knock on anything, but I was not real comfortable with Twitch and the monetization, you know, model that they have there is, it's all based on charity. That's not a bad thing, but I don't want to ask people for things, right? I don't need things. I mean, let me put it that way, right? And so when they started adding this stuff into YouTube, a lot of it in terms of like the membership and stuff, there's a lot of, you know, algorithm stuff that helps your channel overall with that. And I wanted to make sure there was some sort of, you know, at least perceived or tangible, you know, value to that. So, you know, some of the higher tiers, you actually, what you're buying is, you know, my time, you know, if, you know, you wanted help with a build and different things like that. I don't get a lot of that. And to be honest with you, I don't really want a lot of that. I mean, I appreciate, you know, all of the memberships and those kinds of things, but that's not, you know, that's not my main goal here. I mean, I make a little bit of extra money from doing the videos and stuff like that, but what I like about it is that, you know, YouTube pays me, you know, so you guys can come be in the, you know, in the live streams, watch the videos, enjoy them, and, you know, me making any kind of money off of it doesn't depend on, you know, you guys, you know, giving it to me. YouTube pays me from, you know, the ad revenue, and I'm a lot more comfortable with that model. We almost made it through it, no porn bots. So if I report it, let's see, pornography. Does that also remove it? So I don't know if I think I can still see it maybe. Report. All right, I think we're good. I think we're good. All right, let's do Twitch ad revenue's a joke. Yeah, I know they're attempting to make some changes and stuff to that, but I'd like to see. I mean, this whole nother conversation. There's whole, you know, videos and stuff that people have done about this, but they got some work to do if they want to go that direction. Donovan, thank you for upgrading your membership. I appreciate that. Yeah, Twitch did make an adjustment, and they brought it a little bit more in line, at least for the split that you get for ads. But their ads overall pay a lot less than what YouTube does. YouTube also, because it's long form, you know, I'm able to have people view those when I'm sleeping anytime, right? So it's a little bit nicer from that standpoint. The biggest complaint I had when I was looking at, or criticism for the way that Twitch did it, is that if you sign up for that particular program, I don't know if you have to be a partner or how that works, but in order to get that higher split, you have to run 2 minutes of ads an hour, which isn't a big deal, but they're automatic. So you don't have control over, you know, hey, I'm going to grab a drink, check the kids, whatever, hit the button. Like you did in the past. So on that program, it'll just automatically do it. So I could be in the middle of this conversation and it just cuts me off, and you know, now you're watching ads, which I think is kind of a crappy way to go about doing that. No, it booted almost everybody. Okay, I am going to form a new team. I'm going to just grab randoms that are around us here. So anyone that wants to go, accept it if I click you. If not, just decline it. Let me see. Okay, we're definitely taking Kelvin. And then at the what was I gonna say? Sorry, I started reading a comment. After we finish this one, then we'll all queue up for a Crystalline Catastrophe. I really like that one. Augie quitting? Question mark. No, Augie works really hard on his channel. He puts out a lot of content, you know, a week. And it's not just, you know, phoning it in either. He does a lot of work, research, putting the stuff together. It takes him a good amount of time to put together his videos, and he does quite a few of them. And you know, that does wear you out. You know, I mean, a lot of people think that, you know, streaming or making videos and stuff, it's just easy and fun. And a lot of times it is. You know, I mean, there's a reason I only stream once a week, you know, because number one, I don't want it to feel like a job. I was pumped, you know, hitting the go live button to, you know, chat and talk to you guys and have some fun together. But, you know, especially like on Twitch, I don't know how some of these guys do it. I mean, it takes, you know, a special amount of dedication, because, you know, if you're streaming even 3-4 times a week, I guarantee you after a couple weeks, half of the time, you know, they're like, I don't really want to go live. Now, once you hit the live button, then you know, it's fine. It started. It's like going to the gym, right? You just got to get in the door, or at least get in the car to drive there, you know? And so, yeah, so I think Augie's just, he's got to take a little break here and there, and most creators do. You know, I mean, I took last week off. We had some storms and stuff, so my internet and power were in and out. So, but it was still kind of nice. I'll probably plan on doing that, taking a break, even though I only do it a week. Sometimes there's not as much, and you know, even though I don't stream for real long, you know, Sunday's one of my kind of only days where I don't have basketball and things like that. So there's sometimes, you know, I just either want to do 0, or, you know, we're gonna go, I don't know, the pool with the kids. And even though I don't stream real long, it's kind of right in the middle of the day, so it kind of makes it hard if I want to do anything else. Most of the time I'm not doing much, so, but I'll probably start doing just one Sunday off a month, depending on what's going on. I mean, if there's a lot of news and things like that, then we'll skip it. So yeah, Augie's got a lot of health issues and stuff, but he puts a lot of work, you know, into his channel and his videos, and that by itself does take a mental toll, you know, especially when you're going through reading comments and doing all of those kinds of things. And some people are a little more sensitive to, you know, negative, you know, feedback or hostile feedback. And I'm not saying like he's, you know, sensitive and stuff, but that, you know, that kind of thing really takes a big toll as well. So it's good for everybody that does this kind of thing to, you know, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Let's grab us a galaxy. Who's calling me? Thought I saw an arbiter over here. Take a Titan. Spock's Friday Nights. What's up, man? If you guys haven't checked out his channel, you need to. It's really good. His thumbnails are just amazing. Here, let me find your channel real quick. I'll link you. But you guys definitely need to go over and check him out. Spock's Friday Nights. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked him out, do that. Click on that, give him a sub. All right, and we need one more. Crusher, what's up, man? Good to see you. And oh yeah, let's take a Nidarian. Spock's Friday Nights. Oh, no problem, man. Just a dude. I'm telling you, those thumbnails are amazing. Do you? I guess you don't need to give me your trade secrets in chat, but do you make like the the character images, or where does that come from? They're really good. All right. What do we want to run here, guys? What do we want to run? I'm really feeling like a Zenkethi front or something challenging, or like a gravity kills, but both of those are something we need to kind of coordinate a little bit. So maybe that's a bad idea. Let's do. I really like Cure Found. I know we run this every stream, but it's just a good one. All right, here we go. Gauntlet, yeah. Short 72, how you doing? Good to see you, man. You're out. I hope you're feeling good. Yeah, that's right, because we can get those just from running that, huh? It's not as good as the Sims, obviously. I wish there was like a space colony sim that gave the same kind of, same quantity of, provisions. That'd be nice. That console is so crazy. Met Furry, how you doing? Just messing? I'm like, he can't be serious. You never know though, so I can't jump to conclusions. Your culture will adapt to service hours. Ship is fast. GG. I really like that one. I like the map itself. I did some of that last demo record in here. Oh, Martin, you were asking too, no demo record this time. I haven't made anything since the last one. I really don't like recycling. I could probably take one of the ones I first did. There's a couple of them that are pretty good, I think. I could probably reuse those. In fact, now that you've said that, let me look at something here. Yeah, I'll save that for next week, actually. All right, let's queue up for a crystalline catastrophe, and then that will do it for me today. I'm gonna make some lunch for the kids and myself, and then once the stream's done, before I do that, actually I'll probably make lunch first, and then after I will do the start the giveaway in the Discord server. That is going to be, if you join the Discord server, there's a link down in the description. You'll just come into the Discord server and go to giveaways, and then it will look like this basically, and you'll click the first button there, whatever icon it shows, which it's always this one. But that'll be up in probably about an hour or so from now, and that'll be for the fleet modules. And Caliph, let me check yours. Okay, yeah, I'll pull that and send it to you after the stream there. No problem. All right, so we're going to queue up for Crystalline Catastrophe Advanced. And go ahead and queue now. I'm going to wait a couple seconds to queue myself because there's a little bit of a delay. A couple seconds. Last time I had a problem where it kicked me out of queue. Oh, shoot. You know what? Okay, good. We're not in a team. Yeah. What the F, man? This happened to me last time. Unqueue or don't accept. It keeps kicking me out of queues, and I don't know why. All right, re-queue. Jesus. A whole bunch of people all went by themselves without me, and yeah, it was kind of a bummer. And I have a feeling it did that to me again. Yeah, see, when I change screens... Okay, I am still queued. That's weird. Chris, how you doing? Yeah, because when this happened last time, I went back to the VOD after because I was really irritated about that, and I queued for it. I didn't unqueue. So, alright, there we go. It might separate us into groups. Speaking of what the F. I don't know, Dwayne, hopefully. I'm sure Star Trek Online's pushing for that because that would be another one of their ships in canon. They should. It's an excellent looking ship. You're going to see if you can take the explosion? Okay, I queued and accepted. You know, maybe in the future what we'll do is we'll team up for it, but because it's a max of 10, then another 5 could still go at the same time. And then that would at least make sure that I'm at least getting in with you guys with the initial group of us. Yeah, I feel like they're updating that plaque too often, man. It sucks. Make room for the Nidarian. There we go. Things huge. Yeah, Martin, that's a good idea as well. For these larger ones. Well, can we even... I think actually we would need to make a team of 10 in order to queue for it as a team, I believe. Maybe we'll just do that next time. So we have plenty. That's what we'll do. Caleb, I can tell you, I cannot tank it in this ship. It's kind of weird. There's a couple queues, like this bug hunts like that, where like the queue's over, but there's still like ads to kill, I guess. I mean, they're not really smart AI, but it's just kind of weird how some of them do that. You were too afraid and ran away? I don't blame you, man. I've never been able to tank it, not at least close up. You know, out on the outskirts, I've been able to get by, but even then, it did a good amount of damage. Alex, did you do good? I can tell you. I won't show it on stream, but... So it's interesting because, and it's probably not super accurate, but let me grab parse because Caliph wants that for later. So there's only 5 of us on the map, but it's almost like a competitive one because there's actually 2 teams of 5 that are queued at once. And when you look at the parse data, there's it shows all 10 of us in there, but the parse data also isn't super accurate when you're not, you know, fairly close. I mean, if you're totally across the map, it won't pick everything up. Let's see, apps, STO. I really need to clear my log again. It starts getting huge. Hashtag show the parse. I'll show the parse for the crystalline one. EPG stuff in that map does really, really good. Temia had the highest at 88k, which is very good. I was just under Caliph. How much damage did Caliph take? Oh, you didn't stay for it. That's right. Okay, I was going to say, how much damage did you take? Yeah, what I like about this software is being able to do the individual player analysis. So you can click on that, you can click on yourself, and then you can break down, you know, every source of damage. You can look at, you know, what your pets did if you have any pets. It gets really, really into detail. It's a really nice system, even if you're not, you know. We do a mini rant, okay? Most people are not min-max deeps chasers, right? But I firmly believe that most people play this game to put their ship together, perform as good as they can make it perform, and come up with their own kind of combinations. You know, everybody likes to do some damage, you know, and be it a lot or not a lot, you know, it doesn't really matter, as long as you're having fun and you're having fun doing it. And so I really like this software for, you know, playing with a build, trying out some other traits or some other weapons, and I'll run a couple and I'll go through this stuff and see, you know, what's working, what's not, make an adjustment. And it's just a lot of fun. I mean, for me, this game is really, it's a puzzle game for, you know, building, you know, your ship or even ground character in some instances, you know, and finding different combinations that can work for you. I really, really enjoyed, you know, especially when I was like building up my free to play account, doing the same exact thing, but with no, real resources, right? So I'm taking mission drops, and I'm trying to find every different thing that I could farm out or that was good in order to, get the best performance out of, what I had access to. And I really, really enjoy doing that kind of thing. Not a deeps chaser, although I can't complain about overkill. I just want to make sure what I have and survive. Right, exactly. And this will also give you, your stats for the damage in you took, your regen, all that kind of thing. So, there's nothing wrong with, using softwares like this. If you're into the shipbuilding thing, it's extremely helpful, to be able to go through and, see how your stuff's performing, regardless of whether or not, you're a deeps chaser, a min maxer, or anything like that. It's real helpful. This is why I enjoy playing this, adjusting, fixing, going. Yeah, exactly. Kevin, awesome. Hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, I like blowing stuff up. I remember playing through the story missions, and, I started to kind of get my build together. And what I mean together is that it wasn't like a mixture of a whole bunch of different types of weapons and all those kinds of things. And it just feels good going in and stomping the enemy, and then like, through the storyline, when they're talking to your character, they're always stroking your ego. And then it's really nice when like the performance of your ship kind of matches that, it feels good. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, this software is helpful. They are in the middle of developing some new software that basically does the same thing. I'm not sure the exact people. I know Spencer's involved with it, CasualSAB, to a certain degree. I don't think he's doing any of the coding stuff, but hopefully we'll see that here sometime soon. I'd rather play fun builds, all turrets. Yeah, for sure. And I have some like that, as well, that I just enjoy it, right? But I still will try. I'll say, okay, I want to do all turrets. It's going to be phasers. And I still try and like, I don't want to say just max the damage, because sometimes I'm not trying to max the damage. I just want it to be able to get through the content, but then like be unkillable, right? But it's not really a tank, because I'm not doing, threatening stance or anything like that. So there's all kinds of different, not just ways, like when we say ways to build, a lot of people think ways to get lots of damage, right? And that's not really it, right? There's lots of points to, to build towards, or lots of, different kinds of builds that some of them you've just made up, right? And that's really the fun part, where you're like, I'm going to do a cannon control build, like all turret control build that's got crazy survivability, right? And then you just try and build towards that, right? It's not going to break any meta. That's not the point. It's just to see if you can achieve that, make it work. And the combinations of that kind of stuff are endless. Yeah, lazy boat build. That's what 1701 calls it. Let me see if my shout out commands are working too. I need to make a list, because I made a bunch of short ones to make it easy to put in, and then I can't ever remember them. No on the Streamlabs? Yes. Okay. It's a little delayed. There we go. Very nice. All right. That is going to do it for me, because I am starting to get hungry, and we're going to start talking about food, and then that's going to distract me and make me even hungrier while I'm not making food. All right, guys, make sure check out that Discord server. The giveaway will go up in about an hour from now. Again, big thank you to Martin for donating those. He actually gave those to me last week, but I didn't stream last week. I am working with Cryptic, trying to get some additional codes for giveaways for you guys. I was working with them on, they had given me some console codes a few weeks back, a few of them. I gave one away and they didn't work. And so support was working with that person and myself along with Kale. I ended up just sending him some gift cards because it just kind of went on too long. But I think they eventually will end up either crediting him or giving him something else because he has a valid code that was given to them. But as of right now, I'm not going to give out any of those other ones because I think I don't know what all the issues are, but I think something with the back end of the purchase, now Gearbox and PlayStation, and they just are no longer good. So anyways, hopefully I'll be able to round something up from them as well for console sometime in the near future here, but I'm a little hesitant on that end now, so I may need to wait a little bit longer because I don't want to do giveaways for stuff like that and then we have those kinds of problems. So like I said, I still took care of him. I just sent him some PlayStation gift cards, but it wasn't what he wanted and what I promised. So being in that position is kind of a bummer, but it happened. So all good. All right, I think that does it, guys. What am I forgetting? I don't think I'm forgetting anything. All right, till next time. Appreciate y'all. Have a good one. Kevin, have a good one. 07s. Kayla, thank you again very much for the gifted memberships. I really appreciate you. Stu2001, have a good one. Donovan, 07s, man, have a good one. Appreciate you. Justin, good day. Crusher, as always, good to see you, man. Have a good one. Dwayne, thanks for being here, bud. Appreciate you. Amdar, have a good one. Chris, as always, appreciate you, man. Have a good one, 07s. 07s, everyone. Thanks for watching.